So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we are looking at the improved Iveco Stralis mod. So let's get started by taking a look at the configuration. Okay then, so here we are inside the Iveco dealer, however you want to say it. So the first trucks that you see are actually the mod. So as you can see, this one. Obviously the highway isn't. This one is. So yeah, it's a complete rework of the older gen Stralis. So if we go into the options, as you can see here, we got 3 cabins. The active, which is very boxy, very sort of almost looks a bit old now, that sort of style. Then you got the active with the aero piece, and then the full aero piece if that's what you want. After that, you've got the chassis. So you got a 4x2, a lowered 4x2. So if you're taking sort of higher trailers and you have to go under sort of low bridges and stuff, that's probably what you'd want. 6x2, lowered. So yeah, everything really with a lowered option, all the way to a 6x4. So yeah, plenty of choice there. So I was just driving the 450 brake engine, and it's actually quite powerful. It drives really nicely actually, but you can go all the way down to a 310 if you've got sort of a tight budget, or if you're just buying trucks for workers, then it doesn't matter. You can also buy all the way up to a 639 horsepower, which is actually this engine, but has just been tuned a bit. Onto the transmissions, there's loads of 12 speeds and 16s and 6s to choose from, so you've got plenty of choice. Now onto the interior. This is where, in my opinion, the mod sort of goes wrong. I mean, just look, what is that pattern? And then the reflections on it. It's almost like it's a plastic. I don't know, it's quite detailed, but I just don't know what to make of it. But from a distance, it looks a bit rubbish, to be honest. Then you got red, which is even worse. All of which are available with right hand drive options, which is nice. You don't see that often on mods. Then you got black, which is a bit better. Exclusive, which gives you all this black sort of headlining, which is nice, and this sort of pattern up here. And you can also go for a UK, but I don't like the wood on the back of the dials. I find that a bit weird. But yeah, I'd probably go for this if it was me. On the exterior, as it's a Iveco, it's supported by most of the all the paint DLC, which is really good. But we'll just go for white now whilst we're configuring. We'll just change it, there we go. So down here, if you don't like this sort of plasticky look, which actually sort of turns up purple, I don't know if that's just my monitor, but it's definitely got a sort of purple tint to it, which looks a bit unusual. You can just completely remove all these plastic parts, which is really good. I mean, I don't think anyone would want to see that. So there we go. So that's what you'd want. I just wouldn't go for that plastic. It just looks weird. So you can add a lower grille guard as usual. You've got, oh, you can even paint all that. Look, again, all that purpley sort of look. I've add some lights on here, which is always nice. Got the bull bars, all standard, no new ones I don't think. You can even add that as, you can add quite a bit as plastic. It's a really sort of budget truck, this. You have a chrome grille, which I don't think suits the truck. Plastic doesn't, well, plastic wouldn't look as bad if it wasn't, again, didn't have that purple sort of hint. so the paint is probably the best. You can even paint the badges. That looks good. I mean, the plastic there, that's black. So that all fits in. It does look good with the white and black there. You can even paint around the glass. I mean, I like this little piece here with the sort of see-through piece. I don't know if you can see that just down there. But for some reason, you can cover that up if you want to. The mirrors, there's two different types. Got the modern and the sort of more standard. I think this one's from the highway. I think it's just lifted straight from there. You've got a sun protection bar, which you don't see very often. The sun visor, light bars, all standard, chrome or painted horns, and the beacon. Also add some side skirts, again, paint plastic, anything you'd want. And that is pretty much it, really. You can paint the wheel arches. And that's pretty much it. Now on to the interior. So again, for this sort of black style, you can have a slightly lighter steering wheel if you want. Or the sort of Raven stuff. You have to go for this sat-nav because there isn't a built-in one. It's an older truck. And that's pretty much it. You got some cabin accessories as usual. That's a sun protection bar thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And some deflectors if you want. An aircon unit. Let's check actually. Did we miss anything? It's kind of hard to see on this sort of lighter paint. No, I don't think we did. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay then, so here it is all configured. Now I've gone for this sort of all blacked out look with the black logo, the black grille, some lights down the bottom as you can see, which look rather cool. Black wheels, there's black everything really. I didn't go for the black surrounds of the sort of window or anything, or the handles, because I do sort of want it to be a sort of work truck, but just with some nice touches. On the inside I went with the aircon unit at the back. My Trackir was being weird. In fact, let me just reset it. Something wrong with this mod when you zoom in. It just flings you around. But yeah, the black interior. The green dials do look cool, I have to say, when we turn it on. I don't like the digital display. I think that's taken straight out of the highway. But at the top you got your cruise control, your gear. On that display you got AdBlue, then you got your trip. So if we turn it on, let me just remove that, you can see the sort of live readout of your fuel consumption, and then you've got range. So I think I'm going to be putting it on that one. Over on the left you got the speedo in kilometers an hour and the rev counter. Below that you got, I believe it's oil temperature or something temperature, and then you've got the fuel. The light sort of switch does move, as you can see. But over to right or left, you've got sort of all buttons for the lighting, windows. It's got the wiper settings there, as you can see. Very small actually, that writing. Indicator stalk. You've got Windows Phone, you've got the hazard button over there, and then all some random buttons for the aircon and stuff. As you can see, it is a manual. It's an 8-speed apparently, which is fairly unusual. But I do have a job set in, so let's go and get that now. I also went with the 576 horsepower engine, I believe, the chip-tuned version. So this should be fairly quick, especially without a trailer, and the fact that it's a smaller cabin as well. Whoa, that is fairly quick. that guy didn't indicate. That was useful. But one thing to note when you get into the truck for the first time at the dealer, the seating position is really weird. I mean, it's like this, like you're facing down and really close to the wheel. I've never really seen a seating position that weird before. I mean, I remember back to the time where you couldn't actually edit your seating position, and that was it. If you didn't have something like Trackir where you can sort of lean back and forward, that was stuck. Well, you were stuck with that, and you had to deal with it. But now you can at least edit your seating position, and I've sort of got it okay. You do sit very low in this truck. I mean, I know it's a sort of low cabin, but even still, you do sit very low in the truck. I mean, you're only just above the cars here, and then you're almost as low as this coach, the seats in it, as you can see here. Whoa, that guy. What was that braking about? Not sure I was actually touching him then, but there you go. Do have that front mirror, which is, see again, in fact, look, that's how far I can look up in the interior. It's weird. We do have that mirror over there, which I can't actually zoom into. Which is really annoying, but it's in a really weird space. I mean, it's behind the sort of sun protection bar, slightly. And it's really far over. I mean, it's a bit pointless, to be honest. I prefer it in the trucks like the Renault Magnum, where it's right in the middle and you don't have to keep glancing over at it. But that, it's a bit poor. And then the other mirrors, sort of a side one there, down there, so you can see how close you are to the pedestrian's foot. I mean, that one's not too bad. And I went with the sort of modern mirror design, and they're sort of angled in at each other. I've never really seen it like that before, so it is kind of, Trackir's being a bit weird. It's kind of weird to adjust where you actually are. It's a bit off-putting actually, but we'll see at the end what it's like to reverse with, because that's probably the most important thing. But yeah, this is really quick. I mean, a short little burst of acceleration there, we're already up to the speed limit. Yeah, and then 12th gear, it does settle down a bit. It is quite noisy. We'll see what it's like on the sort of open road, but so far, very noisy, and it revs very quickly. Look at that. Not really expecting that from the Iveco, however you want to say it. Right then, so we're just coming up to the depot here to pick up the trailer. It's a low-lying trailer. I believe it's some part for a wind turbine, so we'll see how that goes. Which way is it? Turn right here. And let's get in. GNT. Right, so the trailer's at the back, so let's go and get it. It's a 19-ton trailer, so it should be completely fine with this truck, with the amount of power. It's got almost 600 horsepower. Right, here it is. It turns really well actually. Oh, I overshot that a bit. Go. So let's turn the beacons on, because it does look like a sort of oversized trailer. And yeah, let's get going. Probably best if we go this way actually. I was thinking then, should we try and get out the other way, but I don't think there'd be much chance. I'll probably jackknife. Yeah, this has got plenty of power to pull this trailer. I mean, most trailers in this game are around this weight, 20 tons. So With this engine you'll be completely fine. I'd say anywhere up to 30 tons and this thing will have plenty of power. And even in 7th now. Here it's happy pulling away then. Right, let's get around this corner. Do you actually get like quite a good sense of depth with those mirrors that you don't with many others, which I am liking that. One thing I'm not liking is that sort of window strip there, right down the middle of the mirror. I mean, look at that. That is a massive design issue. I mean, that's completely blocking the vision of the back of the trailer then when I was going around that corner. It's quite dangerous, really. I mean, look at this now, 8th gear, and it's still accelerating up here. That's not bad. Right, let's turn off, or turn on. Now we'll come in. We're going to get up to 80 kilometers an hour. Probably turn the cruise control on actually. Indicators are quite slow. Always remember that as a MAN thing, not really a Iveco sort of feature. I am wondering why that Nokia phone is there. I don't seem to see many of them anymore, those Windows phones. But yeah, onto the sort of highway, motorway kind of thing. And we're averaging, oh, it's actually going up quite quickly. So around 60 litres every 100 miles. However, when we were in town, it was around 40, so it's a bit weird why it's going up on the motorway. Surely it should be going down. What the heck is that guy doing? Completely fine going around that corner at 50 actually. It's very sort of planted, this truck. And it's very, actually quite twitchy. Like, as soon as you steer, it's very sort of darty all over the road, so maybe not the best cruiser in the world, but saying that, it's doing what, 1100 RPM, 50 miles an hour, speed limit, and it seems to settle down a bit. I mean, we're back down to 56 litres every 100 miles, and that's going down quite quickly actually, so fuel consumption isn't too bad. But currently the range is 730 miles. That's quite bad really. That doesn't seem right. So that's in fact that's less than 2 miles every litre. That doesn't seem right. I think that needs to be refreshed. We'll have a look at the end to see if it's changed. But yeah, straight away, the visibility isn't bad at this. You've got these small little windows down here, either side, like on a American truck. And I do like that. It's a cool little feature. Brings a little bit more light into the cabin, I suppose. But yeah, it's very open. The pillars aren't too bad. They're not the thinnest, but they're not exactly the thickest either. And these sort of windows are quite square, so they do let quite a lot of light in. So it's not a bad truck to explore places like Scandinavia. Yeah, very good. But I did think the engine might sound a little bit more interesting though. I mean, a chipped engine, might sound a bit, I don't know, a bit more aggressive, but so far that sort of drone, it's really not very nice actually. If you have a look outside, look at that indicator, it's huge. But yeah, it's very noisy outside as well. See, I'm not enjoying that, but saying that, it is an old truck, I suppose, but yeah, on a long distance that might get a bit annoying. The retarder symbol's very big, very big. You're not going to miss having that on. I'll leave it in 12th up here, let the torque bring us up. Oh, didn't see that. That's quite tight actually. See a bit of an acceleration. Gets up to speed pretty quickly, I have to say. But it does look a bit dated in here now. I mean, this truck's probably, what, 15 years old maybe? It's not bad, but the mod itself, I mean, looking at the wheel, it's really sort of high textured, but the way the sort of light lands on it makes it look a bit plasticky and horrible, like it's got a horrible texture on it. I mean, look at it there, it looks like we got an interior sort of light on. It's a bit weird. That's the same sort of with the rest of the cabin and the lighting. But you do get some really nice details. I mean, like the Iveco logos on the glass and on the sort of window. Where has it gone? There is one on the window. I think it's down in the corner. But yeah, it's got loads of little details like that, which is really, really good. So it's a very sort of high textured mod, but the way it's sort of being rendered in the game sort of lowered those textures. I mean, look at that as well. The way the light reflects off that sort of block texture. Is that radiator or some kind of grill? I don't know, but it sort of ruins it in a way. Not actually sure where we're going now. Looks like we're going over to, I'm not too sure, Poland maybe? But yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Okay then, so here we are in Rostock apparently. I hadn't noticed this before, but look at the dials. I've actually got like a blue backlight, and then they've also got a time in the sort of rev counter area, and then the odometer. I didn't notice that before. Oh, parking brake. That's some cool detail. Alright, let's turn out of here. Yeah, the way this accelerates, it's a really, really powerful engine. Around 1500 RPM is when sort of power comes, I've noticed. Anything below that, it does take a little bit of time to build, and I'll show you here. Right, 8th gear. What are we doing now? About 10,000 RPM, 1300, 1400, and now it sort of kicks in. So if you keep it around there, you get plenty of power. Oh, speeding the fence, you're going to get a lot of those in this truck. Yeah, again, corners so flat. Send that indicator off. I guess we're going into Rostock centre. Let me just check. Yeah, we are. Let's get going. Oh, what is wrong with this Trackir? yeah, I'd say definitely take a look at this truck. It's quite interesting. You don't actually see many Iveco mods, so it's quite a rare sight. So definitely download it, have a quick play in it. It's always nice to jump in different trucks sometimes. I mean, I do like Iveco trucks. I do like the Highway. I think it's a good looking truck. I'm not sure about the interior. I find that a bit dated, but it's definitely a nice truck to drive every so often. Yeah, it's almost a classic truck, this, I suppose. If it's getting on to about 15 years. But yeah, definitely take this to go. It's a very sort of smooth truck to drive. It's quite engaging. I just wish it had a little bit better engine sound and it was sort of rendered a little bit better. Other than that, it's a very good mod. Back into the town, so yeah, we averaged around 60, which on a short sort of journey like this, where you don't actually do many sort of motorway miles, is rather good. I'll just check if that fuel's gone up. No, we're still getting really poor range on it, so you are going to be filling this thing up quite a lot. Saying that, I don't know how many long journeys you want to do this in this truck with that sort of really loud engine. It may get a tiny bit annoying. Looks like we're just down here for the drop off. It's just here. In fact, I believe it's that one. Oh, I'm gonna make him. There's no stopping then. I haven't reversed in one of these spots in quite a while. It's going to be interesting. That's so... look at that. Try just to use the mirrors. It's accepting that, but I just want to do it a little bit straighter. Okay, brake off, brake on, engine off, and let's unload. Okay then, so there we go. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.